Before I turn the mic back over to Dan, I would like to take a moment to reflect on my own modest role in this struggle. As I'm sure, as Dan alluded to, and I'm sure many of you are aware, my time in Congress and my time as chairman of the Select Committee of the CCP will soon come to an end. And I know there have been some here at CSIS who've been critical of the committee's work and my own rhetoric, arguing that it feeds into paranoia and questioning whether I was making a cynical political ploy. I've thought a lot about this sort of criticism as people have asked me how I would like the committee and its work to be remembered. And part of that answer is very easy. Of course, I want our work to be remembered as a thorough, good faith, and in some ways revolutionary approach that was comprehensive and bipartisan in nature. But that's not all. It might surprise you that in some ways I'd like our work to be remembered 10 years from now as alarmist. That might seem strange. After all, when this committee was first formed, that's what most of our most strident critics called us. But the truth is that every night I pray that we're wrong about the brutal, tyrannical essence of the Chinese Communist Party. I hope that Xi Jinping alters his course. I hope that in 10 years, Taiwan remains a thriving democracy, a beacon of hope. I hope freedoms return to Hong Kong. I hope the concentration camps are emptied in Xinjiang. I hope the colonial boarding schools are closed in Tibet and the Dalai Lama is able to return. And I hope that the CCP ends its corrosive industrial policy, stops its wholesale IP theft, grants freedom to its citizens, halts its spiraling military buildup and territorial ambition. And as we uncovered in a bipartisan report released earlier this week, that it stops subsidizing the onslaught of fentanyl that's destroying communities across this nation. And if the price for all these things is that our committee, or that me in particular, are remembered as operating in good faith but being alarmist, then that's a price I would pay 1,000,000 times over. But in the absence of divine intervention, winning this competition, winning the new Cold War will be very difficult. It will be simple but not easy. We must answer the call of history to defend our interests and our values against authoritarian aggression across every domain. It will take dogged and bipartisan work day in and day out for years and in all likelihood decades. But as I'd like to think, and as our little committee has proven, Republicans and Democrats can still work together and rise to the occasion, as generations of Americans did before us throughout the 20th century. It's a proud tradition, and it's been some of my most rewarding work and one of the great honors of my lifetime to participate in this in Congress. So in conclusion, I want to thank you all for having me here today. I want to thank Dan for his excellent contribution to this debate and his leadership, and again for just the excellent work that is manifested in the book he's recently published. Thank you for listening. Look forward to your questions.